Right, so welcome to my masterclass. This is how to create your 2024 style identity with me, Brenda Gonzalez, founder of Style by B. I am going to tell you a little bit about myself, about me. I am a mompreneur. I have two boys. They are 13 and 7. They're big boys. And they came from a previous marriage. I was married, I was divorced. I talk about that in my book, which I'm going to get to in the next slide. It's a #1 best-selling book. I am a #1 best-selling author. I am a fashion stylist and a personal stylist and a content creator. So personal stylist deals with normal women, professional women like me, and professional women and anyone like that's non-celebrity. So there's non-celebrity fashion stylists is like for photo shoots, for models, for magazines, for things like that. I do that as well. I attended FIT. I attended FIT for 2 years in New York City for fashion merchandise and management. I loved it there. It was kind of like, I don't want to say Spelman, because if you went to HBC and you actually went to Spelman, you might be offended. But it was like a mostly girls school. It was like a all girls school, but like scatter boys. When I went there, I think there was like a boys basketball team. I was like, where are the boys at? Like there was one boy in all of my classes in the daytime and another guy at like night, but it was mostly an all girls school. It was mostly an all girls school, and I loved it. There was so much creativity, so much like friendship and sisterness, and it was cool. I loved my time there. I do have an associate's degree and a bachelor's degree in marketing, so I didn't get it from FIT, but I did end up getting it from a local school, a local college in Long Island called SUNY Westbury. And I put this here because with marketing, it just says that I have a general understanding of how perception contributes to sales, how perceptions contributes to how the value is perceived. I understand that there's a look policy. I understand that there's a psychology behind image and branding. And that helps me in my styling business. It helps me understanding the psychology of people, what people are going to think, how they're going to perceive you. Fun fact, I even learned about scents. Like scents are something that helps manipulate or like, pull. If you ever go into like a retail store and they always have like a certain fragrance, it's never like just plain. It's always like a certain fragrance. I think my best friend's little sister went to FIT. Oh yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I recommend FIT to everyone. I know there's also I don't want to say competitor, but Parsons is also in New York City. They shot Project Runway at Parsons. So I know some people that went to Parsons as well. FIT is the best. I know we're like kind of competitors, but not really. We work together, but yeah, so it's a really fun school. I loved it. So yeah, Project Runway is the bomb. I was jealous of Parsons when Project Runway shot there instead of at FIT, but I was like, you know what? It's still New York City. So it's still New York City. So I guess that's a win. It's a win still, right? It's a win for New York because they could have shot in Chicago, they could have shot in LA, but they chose New York City. So yeah, that show was awesome. I loved it. Heidi Klum was amazing on that show. So many other fun people that were on the show as cast and guest stars, as designers. It was really cool. So all right, so I worked before I got into my fashion career, I actually worked in insurance for 15 years, and that was during the time I went to school. So I was always in school and working at the same time. I never just did one thing. I contribute that to my Jamaican side, which is at the bottom of the slide. I am a first generation American. So I'm half Jamaican and I'm half Panamanian, which is where Gonzalez comes from. My family does speak Spanish. I do not. They did not teach me. I have learned a little bit of Spanish on my own, but my Spanish is broken at best. What I would say is I speak Spanish like a Puerto Rican. And if you know anything about New York Puerto Ricans, they do not speak Spanish that well. So I would say I'm like that. So that is my background. I'm a small business owner, mompreneur, content creator. Insurance is something that became very easy to me. And to the point it wasn't a challenge and I really did enjoy doing it. Like I would go to the office in my fashion get-ups and all the clothes like you see here, minus the dress because it's too short. But like, you know, I would go to the office looking fashionable and I would always get compliments like, oh, you don't belong here. You should be a model. You should be doing this. And at the time I was like, yeah, I agree with you, but also like bills, like, you know, it's easier to get a job doing a conventional 9 to 5. You funny with me. It's easy to get a job doing conventional 9 to 5, but when it comes to following your passion, you don't always have direction. So let me show you my next slide. So then, that's actually hot. But so then I thought of what else can I do? So I graduated with my bachelor's degree in 2015. I had my second child in 2016. And then after my baby was about, let's say 2019, when he was about, what is that? 4 years? No, 2015 to 2019. What is 2015 to 2016? He was 1. And then 2016 to 2019, that is 3 years. So when he was 3. So 2019, I started my styling business because I was like, I was tired of doing insurance and I wanted to explore this creative side. So I, you know, started a job at Macy's and it was okay, but it wasn't what I was looking for. They had me listed as a fitting room associate. I almost gagged when I got there. Like, I'm like, I am not a fitting room associate. I don't help people pick sizes. I help people get dressed. I help them find an identity that they didn't always have. So I decided to like start my own business. 2020, the pandemic hit. I should probably go back. 2020, the pandemic hit. I started creating content. Which is a content creator title. And I kind of learned what I liked, what I didn't like, what people wanted to see, what people wanted to see from me. And I found this style that you see here, the style that is very feminine. It's very chic. It's very like sophisticated. It's a polished kind of look. And the foundations of that was found through making content and seeing what people responded to. Then to hear more about my story, my journey, my life, my divorce, how I found fashion, you know, the kind of ups and downs of motherhood that I went through at the time of finding my way. It is in my #1 best-selling book, Style by Independence. It is on my website, stylebyb.net. And now let's get started. Oh, fun fact. Yes. So this shoot that you see here and this picture here, they were done on the exact same day. So I had the worst headache. I was up the night before. I think I slept 2 hours. I had 2 photo shoots in one day, both in Brooklyn, and it was a lot, right? Wow. Like I work really hard and, you know, I've just been pouring myself into this and, you know, it's just the perfect time for me to share my story. So more about what I do and how hard I work. Hey, Jenny, thanks for joining me. Okay, so more about my story in my book, Style by Independence. You know, I just mentioned it goes through motherhood and, you know, all the things that I went through and trying to find my way in fashion. So why we're here. So we're here for 3 reasons. So the agenda is to learn how to create your own 2024 style identity. We will be making a style board live, dress for your body type, and also branding yourself with personal style. So at the end, I have a limited time offer. Okay, let's get into it. So this is my portfolio. Well, some of it. This is some of my portfolio. I've done a lot more than this. There's more on my website, stylebyb.net. At the beginning, if you see here in this corner, I really focus on streetwear because that is my passion. I love New York City streetwear. I love our culture. I love the streetwear vibes, you know, so I started off there and then I slowly started to do more professional looking things. Like this was also part of that. This time I wanted to make a commercial photo shoot, but this shoot itself, there was probably about 13 to 15 looks that I did in this shoot. And I realized I did this in 2020. I think I did this in November 2020. And I shortly realized that like I was just creating. I was on a creation wheel in 2020, 2021. So I didn't think about it after. I could have submitted this to a magazine because there were a lot of different looks. There were a lot of different scenes. This is one. There's a scene by the ocean. There's a scene by the beach. There's a scene on the dock. Like there's a lot that went on in this photo shoot. And then I slowly started doing more like, this is commercial as well. This is like professional, but also going out. Well, skirts are a little short, but it can work different ways. And that's the point. So you see, she has high heels, she has on sneakers, and I really wanted to focus my business on versatility. I do have a celebrity approach to styling, which means that I want you to stand out. I want all my clients to stand out. I'm not shy about that. I don't want you to blend into the wall. Even if your style is conservative, even if you don't like flashy, you don't like prints, and even if you don't, this is not quite your style, there is ways to stand out. So that's what I want to show you today. So finding your style idea, this is by Miuccia Prada. What you wear is how you present yourself to the world, especially today when human contacts are so quick. Fashion is an instant language, and I couldn't agree more. Like, people can, I don't want to say label, but if people classify you based on how you look, based on that, first interaction, by how they see you, how they're going to treat you. And I don't like it. I don't personally love it, but I have worked at the mall. And if you ever been to the mall, you notice, like, when you dress a certain way, people pay more attention to you than when you don't. It's kind of one of those things. I don't like the way it is, but that's kind of the world we live in. People perceive you based on what you look like. So finding your style identity. So in this picture, this collection of photos, if you know Sarah Jessica Parker from Sex and the City, let me know if you guys ever watched Sex and the City in the chat. Let me see if you guys are Sex and the City fans like I was at 11 years old. That's my show, right? I love Sex. I wasn't even old enough to watch. Right? So, okay, so you guys have watched. That was my show. I love the sisterhood with the girls, the four of them, and they all had their own drama, and they all had their own personality and their own lives. Samantha was my favorite character. I know she was a little out there, but she was my absolute. She was doing what she wanted to do. She wasn't letting any man tell her what to do. I was like, yes, Samantha. I was like 11, and I knew I loved her. So she was my favorite character, but Sarah Jessica Parker was the breakout star. So this is what she looked like before the show. And I want to point out, she didn't look bad. Like, there's nothing really wrong with any of these looks. She looked okay. And even for the time she was in, Sex and the City came out in 1998, I believe. And these photos are from like the early 90s, maybe the late 80s. And she looked okay at the time. She looked like she was supposed to look. She looked age appropriate, but it wasn't like standing out. It wasn't like a flash, like, who's that? It was like, oh yeah, Sam. I love Samantha. It wasn't like a flash of like, who's that? It's like, oh, she's pretty. Oh, she's dressed okay. Yeah, she's all right. Like, she's a beautiful woman, but it's not like, wow. Right? So let's go to the next page. And this is what she looks like now. It seems like two different women. Has she grown up? Yes. But also she's found her style. She's found her style identity. She's found, she's tapped into a certain personality. What? You saying something, Jenny? Okay. I just see mouth moving. I'm like, oh, it's talking to me? Okay. So yeah, she's tapped into a certain lane of her personality. Now, I wouldn't say that Sarah Jessica Parker does not wear sweats and sneakers if she were a normal person to the supermarket. We're not talking about what you wear to the supermarket when you're running around with your kids, if you have kids, when you're running errands, like when you're going to meet with your family at the family dinner or the barbecue, like that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about showing up and showing out. Here she's at the red carpet. Maybe she's going to, with the mask on, there's a sample sale behind her. So she had an event at her store. This is when she intentionally presented herself. This is what she looks like. And this is really important because this is a side of her that we've come to identify her with. We come to identify Sarah Jessica Parker as a fashion goddess. Like, she has all the looks, she has all the insights. She's doing hats, she's doing headwear, she's doing color, she's doing print, she's giving us everything. So that's how we have come to identify her based on what her style looks like. I don't know if you guys remember her collection with Stephen Barry's. Do you guys remember that? Remember that store, Stephen Barry's? It was a while ago. It was a while ago. I want to say 2013.
Yes, I remember that store. I was in college
Me
and I used to
too.
shop there. Yes.
And they had super cheap stuff. That
Yes,
was
they
a
did.
Yeah, they had super cheap stuff. And out of the super cheap stuff, hers were more like if their normal stuff was like $5, $10, her stuff was like $30. Like hers was higher end because of the image that she's created for herself as a fashion goddess. So Sarah Jessica Parker's name is on it. She knows fashion. She's gonna give me something that is on trend. She's not gonna let me down. So my next example is Fantasia. I don't know if you guys have been seeing Fantasia lately, but it's different than what we see here. So Fantasia, and I put on the bottom, if you say weight loss is necessary for a style transformation, think again, because watch this. So here, Fantasia's about, she's younger, maybe about a size 4, maybe 6. The camera puts some weight on, and then you see as she, gets older, her body starts to change. And I think she's a mother as well. So that's a factor. But here again, it's nothing wrong. She looks fine. If you would to see her and she'd be like, oh, that's a nice, this is a nice dress, that's a nice coat, whatever. Nothing is wrong. She looks completely fine. This is actually a really nice dress, this one here. This thing, I probably would do something a little bit different. It doesn't feel true to her. But let me show you what she's been looking like lately. She has a Color Purple movie coming out with Oprah. She's a new star of the movie. They've redone the movie, and she's been on a press tour, and she looks like this now. She's a fashion goddess. Like it's something that is very ubiquitous with her. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's something that she's made a total transformation. And if you look at this look on the end with the blue, and then you go back to this one with the money thing, it's kind of the same silhouette. They've just remixed it a little bit. So if you look at this outfit, it's not a like, crazy looking outfit, right? Fantasia looks amazing. She looks better than she ever did, and she has gained weight since she first came out, since she first won American Idol. So she looks amazing. And if you look at these, we all have these snakeskin boots in our closet. Like this is something that we all have, but she's added it with this beautiful one-shoulder dress, these accessories, this belt, this ring. She's taken it up, and the earrings, she's taken it up a notch without having it be too overpowering. And these are the same kind of silhouettes that you've seen her wear before. She loves form-fitted clothing. She loves a bodycon dress. She loves a tight-fitting dress. So these are the same silhouettes that she had before. They are just more refined, and it more speaks to, for me, I feel like this is more her. Fantasia is an amazing singer. She is super talented, and I feel like these styles are more reflective of her talent. These are more reflective of her, of how I want to see, right? I want this green outfit. But you know what? These things make me want to be plus size. Because when I see stuff like this, it usually only comes in that size. And this is also probably extremely expensive, but it looks amazing. It looks good on her. She's found a way to reinvent herself. And this is what I want to see. Like, I want to see a reinvention of where it's consistently the same thing. It's going to be the same silhouette because you're still who you are, but it's going to look different and people are going to respond to it differently. So my activity, let's create a style board together. So I'm going to exit out of this, and I'm going to show you how to do this live. Can you guys still see my screen? Okay. All right, so this is let's go back in for a second so we can read the instructions. Present. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take it in 3 steps. First, we're going to collect images that inspire you. You would collect images from magazines. I have a vision board It's an actual vision board, but you can create one just for fashion where you do magazine cutouts of different styles that you like and post it on the poster board. You can get it from like, you know, Dollar Tree, whatever. Post it on the poster board and you can put like, you know, words that you like, the font, colors that you like, identify common themes. So what we're going to look for is things that stand out to you, things that your eye gravitates towards. And don't pay attention to necessarily things that are safe, that looks like how you look already. Pay attention to what sparks that joy in you. You're like, oh, I love this, but it's not like me. Don't back out. Stay in there. Stay knee deep in there and say, you know what? I love this. I'm going to cut this out. Even if it doesn't look like anything in your closet, even if it doesn't look like anything you have, cut that out, save that image, put it to the side. Then we're going to go into putting them on the poster board, or like this, I use Canva. I download the images to my computer and I upload them to Canva, and we're going to create a board. So let's do that live. And I'm going to show you what my board would look like. So I told you I love Fantasia, right? I love Fantasia. I love her new looks, and she's my style icon now. So what I'm going to do is go to uploads, which is some of the images. This is Kerry Washington, which you're going to see later, but I'm going to put her here because I love her. I'm going to do Kerry Washington. I'm going to do, these are all the images I downloaded to make this presentation for you guys. Will this work with me? It's giving me attitude. Let's refresh. Body shapes is here. I'm going to show you guys how to do body shapes in a flash. So let's go back here. There we go. Okay, so I got Kerry Washington there. Who else do I like? We did Fantasia. She's down here. I love green, is also my favorite color, so I'm biased. Green, green and orange are my favorite colors. So Fantasia, she's front and center. I want to gain weight now because I want to look like Fantasia. I always wanted to gain weight, but funny story, like I never gain weight properly. Like my weight always sits around my stomach. I'm like, dang on it. This is not supposed to happen. It's supposed to go down in my hips and thighs so I look like Fantasia. Like, why is my weight sitting around my stomach? It's annoying. So then I have to lose weight all over again. I'm like, no, forget it. Never mind. Then I have to like watch my diet because my weight doesn't go where it's supposed to go. SJP, I had this photo for you guys, but it wasn't cropping properly. So I love this look. I love how she takes a casual look and then she dresses it up a little bit. What else do I want to do? I like this dress here. Let's make that fit. And then, so these are just some images that inspire me. So what I also like to do is go into like different elements. Panamanian flag. This is from earlier in my presentation, Jenny. I'm half Panamanian, half Jamaican, first generation American. So I went over that. And let's see, let's look at some fonts. I like pink. So I'm going to do this. I have an affinity with XOXO and love, and I love that kind of stuff. Which also, I'm working on something. I'm working on an event, but I'll get you guys details. I'm just stay tuned. Check your emails in like another month. I'm working on something really good in person. All right, so we go through some fonts, and then we're gonna do branding. Branding. See, these are my colors. These are my color palettes. So, this is what Canva does. Kind of cool, right? Let's make it pink. Let's make it pink. And then this, transparency. I want to keep that kind of like that. And then elements. What other elements that could I add in here? I love pink. This you could also, I love high fashion, so let's do this too. This you could also do in Pinterest. Just find different styles and elements that resonate with you. There's a perfume called Victor and Rolf. I love that perfume as well. So this is kind of what it would look like when you do your own style board, just different images that inspire you. And then as you go on, as time goes on, you'll find that you can add more stuff to it. You can add more things to it that would speak to you. Usually if I do a style board, it takes me like a couple hours to revisit and refine and do it, then do it again, do it again. So this is what it would look like in the end. I just saw the how it would be. All right, so this is what it would look like in the end. It would look like something that has different styles, different elements of things that you like, kind of like a vision board. And you would use that as a reference. So you would either like print it out or like keep it in your phone, and just whenever you're going shopping, look at this and try to find something that looks like one of these things. And like I said, it doesn't have to look like anything in your closet. Ideally, I want you to look for new things that you may not have that could resonate with something that you like in these pictures. Right? Thank you, Whitney. You know, it's a good visual reminder. So let's get back to the presentation. Okay. So this is what the finished product look like. Do you guys see the meeting chat? No, right? You just see the presentation? Just making sure. Let me know if you just see the screen that I'm showing you.
I see the style board. Is that where that's what we should do? Okay.
Absolutely. Right. So you're looking at the style board. So this is going to be your reference for next year. So get things that look like something that you want to look like, that are different than what you have. Maybe not too far out. Something that looks like what you have, and try to mimic that with the next time you go shopping, and look at this every time you're about to go shopping. So you keep in mind what it is that the goal is. All right. Next, dressing for your body type. And from Marc Jacobs, clothes mean nothing until someone lives in them. I love this because I'm not just putting the clothes on you. I'm actually showing you how to wear them and what you can accomplish with these looks. So here are 5 common body types. You can be an hourglass, which is, you know, the perfect hourglass figure. Your shoulders and your hips are roughly about the same. And this doesn't matter if you're plus size, regular size, it's based on measurements. And that's one of the things I do in my styling package, in my style consultation. I do measurements step 1, because we need to know what size you are. We need to know what body type you are, so we can then appropriately dress that body so that you look amazing. Hourglass, inverted triangle, which means your shoulders are broader and your hips and waist are slimmer. So that's a triangle. Rectangle is kind of like straight up, kind of boxy. Again, this can apply plus size, regular size, it doesn't matter. It's based on measurements. Pear shape, you carry more of your weight at the bottom than the top. And the apple shape, which is your rounder. And I would say this is more like, you ever know, like if you have weight in the center and then your legs are skinnier, that's what I would look like if I tried to gain weight. All my weight would sit around my stomach and then my legs would be the same size. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. So that's what it would look like. Now, here's some celebrity examples of what this looks like. Let's see if I can make this bigger. Can I? Make this bigger. You guys can see this good? Yeah, okay. Yeah. So this is what this looks like. Okay, good. So Cameron Diaz is a true rectangle. You know, you see her measurements are pretty straight up and down. Her hips and her shoulders, they're pretty straight up. Priyanka Chopra is an hourglass, which is the round shape. Melissa McCarthy, they have her listed as an apple. I'm not sure if that's the best example from what I see of her shape. I just pulled this picture from Google because the rest were pretty accurate. She looks like an hourglass. And I say that because she does have the rounding of the hips and the shoulders, and it looks like she has a waist in here. So she seems like an hourglass, just plus size, but you know, the apple shape is your rounder at the top, and then your legs are skinnier. Like your legs can be a size 8, and then your top is like a size 12. That would be a true apple. A pear, we all know Jennifer Lopez is bottom heavy. That's like her whole thing. Renee Zellweger, it's kind of hard to see, but you see the top and then she's smaller. The trick that they did here is you see the way the dress is cut, it's kind of like a peplum they inserted into the dress to make it look like she had hips. This is empty, like she's a triangle. She's an inverted triangle. That's her body shape. Now, how are we going to dress these body types? So if you have an hourglass, you have balanced proportions. You can pretty much wear whatever you want, but I would be mindful to keep a waistline, which is, you can do with an A-line dress and a wrap dress to define the waistline. The inverted triangle, which you have broader shoulders, you cannot necessarily wear everything, meaning if you wear something with huge shoulder pads, that's going to make you look even more boxy at the top, even more aggressive at the top. And I focus on femininity and feminine style. I would say let's try to balance it out a little bit and let's focus on the bottom. So we're going to wear a wide leg pants. We're going to do an off-shoulder top like you see here, to where the attention goes down to the middle. And we're not focused on the boxiness at the top. We're going to focus on your waistline. We're going to create a waistline. We're going to make you look balanced. Rectangle, which is Cameron Diaz. Peplum tops and belted waist. So we want to create a waistline. We want to create the appearance of one. So a peplum top will be something like you see here, where it looks like we're inserting a hourglass figure onto her, but this is fashion. We can make it look like whatever we want it to look like, and we can make her look feminine and give the appearance of balance. The pear shape, this one, Jennifer Lopez loves her bottom heavy, and I would love my body too. Everyone is entitled to love their body. What I would do if you're looking to balance it out and you have a pear shape, maybe do some statement shoulders are really in now. The giant ball main shoulder pads are the in thing. This is something that would make you look good if you're bottom heavy. It would balance out your proportions. Puffy sleeves is something that would balance out your proportion. A dress with puffy sleeves, it would give you like a really defined hourglass shape. What's the last one? An apple. So that's when you're broader at the top and skinny at the bottom. We're going to do some things to trick the eyes. So what we're going to do is a V-neck line to kind of give the appearance of an arrow pointing down. We're going to do some empire waist. Empire waists are styles where there's a cinch of the waist directly underneath the bust. Kind of like this, but a little bit higher. So that's going to give the appearance of the waistline we're going to insert. And it's going to give the hourglass figure, and it's going to help you look more balanced and more proportioned out. Okay, and Vera Wang says, I want people to see the dress, but focus on the woman. Okay, that's the idea. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns so far? Are you guys still with me with the body shape and the style identity?
Yep, I'm over here thinking like, what shape am I?
Yeah, you know what? I just saw your comment with Melissa McCarthy. She does look like an hourglass. I think sometimes with plus size, the media gets on my nerves. Sometimes with plus size, they just say, "Oh, you're this way because you have more to love," and that's not always true. We need to actually get the measuring tape and do your measurements. I think you might be an hourglass as well, Whitney. But we would have to get the measuring tape and do your measurements and then just see how it works.
I would say that I'm definitely a pear.
Yeah.
Bottom
Yeah,
heavy.
I would say so. So then, yeah, you would definitely look more proportion with like the super 80 shoulder pads that are out right now.
Oh,
yeah,
I feel like I'm not too into those type of tops.
It's too bold.
Yeah, like I feel like it's too much for me. But yeah, I would be into getting some structured jackets.
Yeah, the structured ones. So maybe not dramatic, but maybe it's more defined. And I want to find like something like Melissa McCarthy's, where you see the shoulders are defined.
I would like that. Yeah.
So that would be good for you without going too crazy, because you want to still look like you and feel like you.
Yeah,
Mhm. So there's Vera Wang's quote. And okay, so now we're going to personal branding. So this is the part that I feel is the most important if you're a business owner. So personal branding with style. The definition is to personal brand is a unique blend of your skills, values, and personality. So it has to feel like you, it has to demonstrate that you're capable, and it has to be something that is visually and aesthetically pleasing. So for myself, right, I would speak to my personal brand. It's very pink, it's very pretty, it's very cutesy, it's very like that type of thing. And that speaks to my value and my brand as being femininity. Like I represent, my brand represents femininity, it represents women, it represents beauty, it represents a softer side, and that comes through with the image that I present to women's softer side. My goal is to have women that are professional business owners, entrepreneurs, CEOs, mompreneurs, corporate executives. You're hard everywhere else. You have to go hard for yourself everywhere else. You are the boss. You're making decisions. You're in your masculine energy. But at the end of the day, we're still women, and we still want to feel beautiful and soft and feminine. And that's where I come in, as that visual representation of what you appeal to, what you want to feel. I show you what you want to feel. Oh, thanks, Whitney. I show you what you want to feel. So that is more, it's more likely that you understand me before I speak. You look at me and see me and like doing all this pink stuff. You're like, oh, she does pretty girl stuff. And I like pretty girl stuff. I like frills. I like looking like a woman. I like, wearing makeup occasionally. If that's your thing, you'd be like, I think she might understand me. I think she might understand how to dress me. And I would get this a lot. I worked at the mall, and I would see women avoid my coworkers and come directly to me because they're like, she looks like she knows something. And I do. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know how to dress you. I know what you're looking for. And I understand that you want to look feminine. You want to look like a woman. I do streetwear, but I mostly focus on feminizing the streetwear. I love taking masculine and making it feminine. So that's an example. Important. Sets you apart, builds trust, influence perception. That's a little bit what I talked about. Style and brand. Clothing, communication, and behavior represent your personal brand visually. So let's see. All right. Tips: understand your brand attributes, choose industry consistent clothing, and maintain online and offline consistency. So I want to talk about that. So even if you are a chef, right? Say you are a chef or a hairstylist or a motivational speaker or a job that faces people. You want to look like what your customer looks like. You want to kind of mirror what they want. So if you're a chef, yes, you're making videos in your chef outfits and, you're wearing the white suit and, that stuff that makes you look professional. But then if you have content when you're going out and you're doing things, does your audience wear white t-shirts and jeans? Do they wear like streetwear? Are these professional? Is it a white tablecloth restaurant where your customers are coming and wearing suits and dress shoes? Is it a restaurant where it's a barbecue pit and you want to feel relatable and you want to feel cool? You need to look like what your customer looks like. If you are a hairstylist, yes, you're posting pictures of you doing hair, you're posting pictures of your work, but then what is it that your customer looks like? Where do they go? What do they do? What do they talk about? And that's my marketing brain. That's my marketing brain talking. What is it that your customer behavior does, and how can you imitate that with your clothes? How can you imitate that with your appeal? Is your target market 20 something to or 20 somethings, is it Gen Z? That's Gen Z, right? The babies. The Gen Z. Is your target market Gen Z? Because if so, you need to look like Gen Z. You need to find the trends. You know what I found out recently? The little star sticker, the little things that the children put on their faces, the little yellow stickers. I noticed that they were doing that. And I was like, what is this thing that these children are putting on their faces? And it's for pimples. And I'm like, oh,
Yes, I saw that on TikTok. I saw some influencers with stickers on their face. And I'm
yeah.
like,
What
why
is
they got
this?
stickers on their face? Child. Yes, for
I
pimples. I'm
know. I
like,
found that out.
this is too much.
I'm a fake like I have a pimple because that looks cool. Like, because every now and then I get a breakout. I think I need to clean my makeup brushes more often, but I get breakouts like here, like the same place they put the stickers. I have a pimple right now, but y'all can't see because I put foundation over it. But yeah, like that's the things that these children was doing. Like if that is your target market, you need to look like them. You know, if they, granted, you're not going to be age inappropriate. You're not going to try to stuff your body into things that your body does not want to be stuffed in. But you know, you want to kind of mimic. If your audience is Gen Z, like my audience is millennial and Gen Z, that's my target. I do also service baby boomers and Gen Z and anyone that wants to talk. You want to talk to me, I want to talk to you. But a high concentration is millennials and Gen Z. So I dress in that manner of someone that's conservative, someone that knows the trends, but also may spend a little bit more. That's Gen Z because they have more money. They're a little bit more established in their career. They might have adult children. They might be married. They might be divorced, but they're a little bit more established. So I try to wear what they wear. Yeah, millennials. Hey, I was born in the 1900s. Yay. That's what the kids say these days. Like, you were born in the 1900s. You know, my 7-year-old said, he was like, you were born a long time ago in the 1900s. I was like, yes, I was. The 1900s is when I was born.
Yes, I heard that they're saying that now. I'm like, what? Who is that? Really just made me feel old.
I know.
Nah, the day someone tells me that, I'm gonna just give up. Like, no.
Yeah, you were born in the 1900s, I think, Jenny, right?
1995.
Yeah, so we're
I'm like,
old. And you know what else I heard too? They said, I saw this thing on TV. They were like, let me see your, like they were going to a bar, like, let me see your license. And the guy like looked and gave it back real quick. And the person whose license was like, wait a minute, you don't want to look, you didn't even check. He was like, oh, I know already. Your date of birth starts with a 1. So I know.
I don't even get carded anymore. I'm like,
Really?
okay, I know I don't look that old.
Isn't
Like,
that
I still look
insulting?
young. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? What's going on?
Right? Like, you don't want my ID? You sure? Like, so it's one of those things. Like, we are getting older and we're trying to make moves, you know? So we want to look like the audience that we're presenting. You know, even whatever your audience is, you want to look like that. You want to find out what they like, find out what they listen to, find out what influences them, what music, what shows influences them. And you want to try to like mirror that image in your style. So here are some examples. Eva Longoria. So I gave Eva Longoria as an example. We know her from a long time ago in the 1900s. She was on this show called Desperate Housewives, and that's the show that made her famous, and she's been doing amazing ever since. But her style is very simple. If you notice that Eva Longoria, she loves a blazer dress. She loves, oh yeah, Desperate Housewives. Yeah, that show was, it was good. I was a little young for that show. I couldn't quite get into it like I could get into Sex and the City. It was way more polished, you know, and I didn't understand the housewife thing, but I could understand Sex and the City. Right, the pink blazer, right? I love this outfit, this blazer dress that she has. She has a very certain look and it's very polished. And it's even this, she's going on a run wherever she's going. You know, she's very simple when it comes to color. She's very simple when it comes to silhouettes. She doesn't, I don't know if I've ever seen her in a print, but she stays in her lane. She's completely conservative. She loves space in her, you know, she likes to have her space. If she does an orange, this is how she does it. I've even seen her in pink, a bright pink. It was one color. It wasn't a mix of a whole bunch of stuff. It was just one thing. She's very simple. She's very conservative, but still, this is her look. This is her signature look. You can Google her right now and you'll find 100 pictures of her in this suit. She has one in pink. She has one in tan. She has one in, you know, in baby blue. Like, she loves this look. This is her. So I know she's never had a stylist bring her animal print outfit because she would probably fire them before we even knew. She'd probably fire them before we even knew that the situation occurred, because this is her look. Clean, conservative, simple. Okay, so this is Eva Longoria. Next, we have Kerry Washington, who is more like me. She's feminine and she's sophisticated, and she's also classy. Even here, when she's showing the skin, the skirt is at a certain length. We're covering the belly button. There's no belly button hanging out there. She's very feminine and she's very sophisticated. Here she does the print, and then she does a solid at the top. Here she does a print, she does a solid at the top. It's a very consistent pattern. This is very cutesy, very feminine. I'm a girl and I love it. We're doing masculine and feminine together. And I feel like we all have something snakeskin, right? This is kind of the season for it. But this is her look. It's very chic. It's very sophisticated. It's very pretty, very cutesy. And this is her brand. Every time you see Kerry Washington, she looks like a variation of one of these images. She looks polished, very feminine, very cutesy. Even the sexy looks are not too sexy. They're not over the top. They're not in your face. So this is her look here. Next, we're doing Celine Dion. She's way over the top. She's fashion forward. She's giving you prints on prints, colors on colors. Nothing is too big. Nothing is too bold. It's giving belle of the ball. It's giving girl from the South. Even though she's from Canada, but she loves streetwear. She loves avant-garde. She loves couture. This is her look. So every time you see Celine Dion, this is the statement that she makes. If she starts dressing like Eva Longoria, you would say, what happened? Is she all right? Is Celine Dion, we need to check on her. She's wearing pantsuits every day. Like, something's going on. It doesn't feel right, because this is her look. This is her signature. This is the spot where she's comfortable, and she presents as that every single time. If you would see Celine Dion as a panelist on Project Runway or any of these shows, you'd be like, that seems right. If you see Eva Longoria doing her fashion line, she has a clothing line, I think, and she has a collab with, I want to say, like, Kohl's. But you're like, okay, that feels right, because she's an everyday woman. She's an everyday woman. She doesn't do too much. She likes style. She likes simplicity. She values, to me, time, because she seems like she's very efficient with the way she dresses. One color, one dress, let's put it on. One suit, get a white shirt, we're done with it. Like, she's very simplistic. So these are the styles that these women have taken on, and their brand is very consistent. Their message is very consistent, and you know what you're getting with them.
Oh, so I know I mentioned I'm not into like the puffy shoulder tops, but there's something about the white dress that is giving. Like, if I was rich, I would wear that. Be like, I'm here.
Right. She looks like a flower. She looks like a flower.
So cute.
Yeah, and I feel like there's wires holding it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's making that look good. She's making it look amazing. And even when she wears it, her belly button's covered. That's the thing with women of a certain age. Like, we like to cover our belly buttons. Like, we like to, I mean, my belly button, nobody wants to see that. It's disgusting. I got stretch marks. So yeah, nobody wants to see my belly button. I promise you. Like, it needs to stay in where it is. But yeah, she has a certain style and a certain elegance about her. Even when she's doing the fashion forward, she looks her age. She looks like a 50-year-old woman, 60-year-old woman. I'm not sure her age, but she looks her age, but she's interpreting that style in a way that fits her. A high waist, and then she's doing this sleeve. She's killing this. I don't know if I would wear this shirt, but she makes this look good. I'm sure she made a lot of sales for whatever designer this is, because she's killing it. So next in my presentation, I have a limited time offer, but first let me tell you about my reviews. Okay, so here are some of the reviews that I've been getting. For one, my client Dominic W, which is actually one of my male clients, but I style men and women, and everybody gets me. I don't know. It just happens. Okay, so he says that my mind was different after the service. That was exactly what I needed. That's exactly what I've been looking for. I had a feeling of how I wanted to express myself, but didn't know where to get that. It helped my confidence. It helped me feel more like me. The value was more than worth it. Okay, and then there was Leslie, who says, I worked with Brenda Gonzalez of Style by B, and it was truly a great experience. I have been in a wardrobe rut, a bad one. Brenda and I had a one-on-one conversation where we discussed my styles, likes, and dislikes. Brenda turned me on to some new designers and brands I was unfamiliar with. I really appreciate her perspective and look forward to working with her again. So that's my client, Leslie. She was able to get some direction on how to change up her style and make herself feel a little bit more alive, a little bit more refreshed. My client, Avril, I had a great time working with Brenda. She knew exactly what she needed to do to make me look and feel good. Choose her to be your stylist because she knows what she's doing. She said it, not me. She said it. I also say I do know what I'm doing. I do. Okay. So next client testimony is from Shireen. It's really hard for me to shop because I'm in the middle of regular sizes and plus size. She found so many outfits for me that fit and I felt comfortable and girly. Check her out, Style by B. She's amazing. So that is Shireen. I do have a bit of clients in that range that are in between plus sizes and regular sizes, where it's like they're between sizes like 12 and 18, and something really weird has happened in fashion, or has been happening. It's getting better. It has gotten better in the last maybe like 10 years. But it's very hard when you're at the bottom of the plus size and you're at the top of the regular size. Like you don't really quite fit in either world. So that's when the clothes start getting a little, the sizing starts getting dicey. Some things are a little older looking and some things are a little too youthful, and you're just trying to find your way. So I do help my clients find their way regardless of where your size falls on the chart. So here we are. So I do have a Boss Woman wardrobe styling package where I do get you dressed for all of the things that you do in your life. So how much easier would it be to have a list? I make at the end, I make a 10-page lookbook of all the outfits. So how much easier would it be to have a direction on your style, what looks good on you? I take measurements. I provide you with style solutions, and then I help you with all year round. So imagine we're in December, we're going into January. I provide you a style solution that lasts you all 4 seasons. So think about, what you're going to wear. For now, the next season is the spring. What you're going to wear in the spring. What are you going to wear in the summer, in the fall, in the winter? So I cultivate all these looks for you within this style package. I deliver you 7 brand new outfits. I mix them in with what you already have. Like we talked about, I want to make you look like you. I want to make you look like you, but like 3.0, like you 3.0. So I'm going to mix in some things that maybe you hadn't thought about, things that you maybe didn't think that, didn't think about. Like you didn't think about putting it together in your wardrobe. You didn't think about ever even looking in the direction of different colors, different combinations. And I show you how to wear things in your closet that you hadn't thought of. And then I put new things into that and I get you dressed for all the seasons. So, this is something that I offer. It is only 3 spots left for January 2024. In February, the price is going to increase. And like I said, I have some things going on that you're gonna see in February-ish. But so I do have 3 spots left. And if you want to sign up, let me know. I can shoot you the link right now. But what do you guys think of this offer? Let me know if you see yourself having a new closet, having easier access, having more of an idea of how you want to change your world, because it is a change. It is a commitment. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to duplicate your closet, and I don't want you to feel uncomfortable either, but it's helping you get a new way of life, getting you a new way of thinking, to be more forward facing in your career. If you're, a business owner, if you're a professional, if you have a lot of different events that are always pulling your time, you have to travel to go this, you have to be mentoring, you have to speak at this thing, you have to, it's a lot of moving parts that go into being entrepreneur and executive and business owner, and you don't always have time to plan the things you want to plan, you usually just end up wearing what you always wear, what you always wear that's safe. And it may not be the best representation of your brand. It may not be the idea that you had in mind, but because you were limited for time and limited for resource, you don't really have a lot of time to figure this out. You may, not always be in the position to step up your brand. And that's what I'm here to do. Just help you step up that brand, give you new ideas, and help you get to the places that you want to go in 2024. So if you're interested, let me know in the chat. Let me know if you would find this offer appealing. If you do want a new closet, you want a new life, you want to have, a different idea of yourself, of your style, of your time, because this is also making you more efficient. I am a mother. I have 2 children. I'm always pressed for time. I finished this presentation 3 hours ago. I finished this 3 hours ago. This week has been nuts. But because I am good with style, that's one of the things I never have to worry about. I never have to worry about how I'm going to present myself with style, how I'm going to be on brand. You can go to any of my social media pages. It's all consistent. It's all clean. It's all the same. That is something that I do. So let me know if you're interested. Let me know. Oh, thank you, Whitney. Thank you, honey. You said you are a natural, honey. I am. Thank you. It took a lot of work to get here, but I'm glad that I did.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm so proud of you. I've seen all the things
Oh,
you've been like doing. You've been
thank
in
you, Jenny.
podcasts and all. Oh, and I also
Yes.
purchased your book. Yeah.
Oh,
Congrats
yay.
on
What do you think
that.
of my book?
It was good. It was very like inspiring how from your journey, like how you like started to now. Like I'm always like inspired when you post and stuff and seeing you do all
Aw.
these things.
Yes, I do the most. And my book was like, I've been having this book in me for a long, long time. And I just wanted to like share it with everyone and pour out my heart and go through my motherhood journey and my, how it took me 10 years to graduate with my bachelor's degree and, having going to FIT when I was younger and then circling back again after I got divorced. It's a lot. And I'm glad that
Yeah.
you liked it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to continue your business and not give up because it's so hard. Like I get it,
Mm-hmm. You're an entrepreneur, it's not a cakewalk.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like I'm like still at like the verge sometimes to give up, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
see what 2024 brings me.
Yes, don't give up. 2024 is the year. 2024 is the year. Do not give up. I want to give up sometimes, and I'm like, you know what? I get encouraged when you see people who can resonate with your work, like you just did. Like, when people resonate with my work, I'm an author now. I do all the things. I'm a stylist. I'm a content creator. I get these good reviews from my clients who have tried my work and they're like, wow, this is really what I was looking for. And I'm like, wow, I do know what I'm doing. Like don't you feel like that too when you
Yeah,
get like a
yeah,
client
the
review?
imposter syndrome, and then someone
Yes.
like tells you, "Oh, I love this," and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, "Okay."
Yeah, that really helps when you get that feedback and you're like, okay, like this is something that people want. I have the thing that people want. I'm good at what I do, and it's something that I'm growing into. I'm like putting the imposter behind me because I'm like, I do know what I'm doing. Every time I speak to people, it's exactly what I delivered a package. And sometimes I have to like pull myself back because I'm doing more. Like you see this, I will do more. You ask me a question, I will answer you. Like even if it's not in the box that it's supposed to go in, I am not gonna say pay me more or I don't say anything. Like I'm
I
not like
see.
that.
Nah, that's good. I'm glad. And yeah, no, I love the idea of like with my outfits, I wanna like elevate them. Although right now I'm like trying to like focus on like the main priorities, but like
Mm-hmm.
definitely like in the near future, I'm gonna like look into this.
Yeah, definitely look into it. I do have 3 spots left for January. If you want to get started, I do have a style consultation that is part of the list, not all the list, but it's the style consultation. It does 15 minutes closet walkthrough. It does your measure. I do your measurements. I give you style recommendations. That is 75 minutes. That's $249.